Today, we're diving into the epic story of Moses and the Israelites' exodus from Egypt, a journey filled with miracles, struggles, and ultimately, a new beginning. Buckle up, because we're splitting the Red Sea, wandering the wilderness, and finally reaching the Promised Land. Remember how the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt. Moses, chosen by God, led them in a daring escape. With plagues raining down on Pharaoh, the final straw came with the death of the firstborn sons. Pharaoh, desperate, finally let the Israelites go. But Pharaoh had a change of heart. He chased after the Israelites with his chariots, cornering them at the Red Sea. But fear not. Moses raised his staff, the waters parted, and the Israelites walked on dry land. The Egyptians, pursuing them, were swallowed by the sea. This incredible event not only saved the Israelites from certain doom, but also solidified their faith in God's power and protection. After crossing the Red Sea, the Israelites embarked on a 40-year journey through the wilderness. During this time, they faced numerous challenges, including hunger, thirst, and doubts about their future. Despite these hardships, Moses continued to lead and guide them, always relying on his unwavering faith in God's promises. Throughout their journey, God provided for the Israelites, sending manna from heaven and water from a rock to sustain them. At Mount Sinai, God revealed himself to Moses and presented the Ten Commandments, the foundation of a just and ethical society. While Moses was communing with the divine, the Israelites, restless and missing their idols, fell into a major transgression. They pressured Aaron, Moses' brother, to create a golden calf, a physical representation of a god, and worshipped it. Moses, returning to a scene of idol worship, was furious. He threw the tablets down, shattering them, symbolizing the broken covenant. He also destroyed the calf, a symbol of their backsliding, and reaffirmed their covenant with the one true God. Moses once again ascended Mount Sinai. God, in his infinite mercy, forgave the Israelites. Yet, the breaking of the tablets demanded a new set of instructions. Moses remained on the mountain for another 40 days and 40 nights, receiving a new set of stone tablets inscribed with the Ten Commandments. Despite their disobedience, God continued to guide them. He provided detailed instructions for building the tabernacle, a portable temple that housed the Ark of the Covenant, a symbol of God's presence among them. Yet, the journey remained arduous. Food complaints became a constant soundtrack. A rebellion led by Korah challenged Moses' authority, showcasing the deep-seated distrust within the community. In their way, Aaron the priest died on the mountain, and his priesthood was passed to Eleazar his son. Moses then placed the priestly garments on Eleazar, signifying his appointment as the new high priest. Numbers 20:26. After years of wandering, they reached the edge of the Promised Land. Moses sent scouts to check it out. But 10 spies, filled with fear at the sight of the Canaanite inhabitants, brought back a discouraging report, fueling doubt and panic amongst the Israelites. Only Joshua and Caleb, the spies who trusted in God's promise, encouraged them to press on. God, frustrated by their lack of faith, condemned most of the generation who left Egypt to die in the wilderness. However, the children born and raised on the journey would be the ones to finally enter the Promised Land. The 40 years weren't just punishment. They were a time of preparation and transformation. The Israelites learned self-reliance, obedience to God's laws, and the importance of trusting in His promises. This journey became a foundational story in their identity. reminding them of God's power, their own weaknesses, and the unwavering promise of a homeland. After leading the Israelites through the wilderness, Moses finally stood at the cusp of the promised land. He had fulfilled his lifelong mission to guide his people to the land God had promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Moses, though could not enter the land himself, was granted a breathtaking view from Mount Nebo, Deuteronomy 34:1. The fertile plains and rolling hills stretched before him, a testament to the journey's purpose. God explained to Moses that he wouldn't be allowed to cross the Jordan River and enter the land, Deuteronomy 34:4. This might seem like a punishment, but it wasn't. Moses had disobeyed God on one occasion, and this was the consequence, Numbers 20:12. However, it didn't diminish his faithfulness or his role as God's chosen leader. The air grew thin as Moses ascended Mount Nebo. At 120 years old, his steps were slower, but his eyes, as the scripture says, remained undimmed. He had led the Israelites for a generation, a lifetime spent battling Pharaoh, carving commandments from stone, and guiding a stubborn people through the desert. Now, at the precipice of the promised land, a bittersweet peace settled over him. The Bible's account of Moses' death is remarkably simple. It states, "And Moses the servant of the Lord died there in the land of Moab, according to the word of the Lord. And he buried him in the valley in the land of Moab, opposite Beth-peor. But no one knows his grave to this day." Deuteronomy 34:5-6. The children of Israel wept for their leader in the plains of Moab 30 days. Joshua the servant of Moses became a revered leader who led the Israelites into their new home. Under Joshua's leadership, the Israelites conquered Canaan, the land God had promised them. This involves several battles against the inhabitants of the land, but the Israelites, with God's help, eventually prevailed. Led by Joshua, a new generation, their hearts filled with both trepidation and hope, stood at the banks of the Jordan River. The waters miraculously parted, mirroring the miracle at the Red Sea, and they stepped into the land flowing with milk and honey, a land they had only heard stories about. The 40-year odyssey, fraught with challenges and triumphs, had finally reached its destination. Conclusion: the story of Moses and the Israelites is a powerful testament to the enduring nature of faith and the fulfillment of God's promises. From the parting of the Red Sea to the entering of the Promised Land, this journey is filled with moments of divine intervention and human perseverance. It serves as a reminder that no matter how challenging our circumstances may be, with faith and trust in God, we can overcome any obstacle that stands in our way. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey, and we hope you are inspired by the story of Moses and the Israelites. Stay tuned for more content on our channel, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. Until next time, take care and God bless. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. What challenges do you think the Israelites faced the most in the wilderness?